Okay, number 2, it is cubic. You're first going to reflect about, when it's on the outside, reflect about the what? X-axis. Very good, X-axis. Okay, if it's sitting on the X-axis, it's going to remain sitting. Okay, I'm going to move it right 3. 1, 2, 3, down 1. Here, if it's one away here, it's one here. So my new point's here. Move it right 3. 1, 2, 3, down 1. If it's one away here, one up here. 1, 2, 3, down 1. And those are my 3 new points. Remember, when you reflect about the x-axis, you change the y value. So if it was at 1, 1, it's going to be 1, negative 1. If it was at negative 1, 1, it's going to be negative 1, negative 1. Are there any questions on 1 and 2? All right, number 3, a very simple one. That's a square root function. You're going to move it what? What's the first thing we're going to move it? Left 1, then what? 4. Very good. You should arrive at something like that. And then number 4 was move right 3 and down 2. Are there any questions on 1 through 4? We're going to do number 9 together. All right. Let's look at number 9. F of x equals 2 parentheses x minus 1 squared plus 3. What's the parent function here, Derek? Quadratic. Very good. That's the first time on the graph. It's quadratic. And like I said, if y'all don't like that graphing paper, you can always draw it on graph paper so you can see it better. All right, so I'm going to graph it. That's me. All right. What does this 2, what impact does this 2 have on Emma? Factor, vertically or horizontal, class? So you're going to multiply your y coordinates by what? 2. So if I start at 0, 0, and I multiply y coordinate by 2, I'm still at 0, 0, aren't I? Okay, now I'm going to move it right or left 1? Right 1 and then up how many? So I'm right here. This is the point 1, 1. I multiply the y coordinate by 2. I'm at really 1, 2, aren't I? I'm going to move it right 1 up how many? Y'all see that? I was at 1, 2. I moved it right 1 up 1, 2, 3. Here I'm at 2, 4. So I'm multiplied by 2. I should be at 2, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Move right 1 up 3. Negative 1, 1, multiplied by 2 is being negative 1, 2. Move right 1 up 1, 2, 3. And my point should be in that location, shouldn't it? Negative 2, 4, be at negative 2, 8. That's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Move right 1 up 1, 2, 3. You can either do it that way, or can you make the tables? Yes, I'm good with either way. I'm going to do the table just in case some of you might say, I like the table better. That's my original points. I'm going to multiply my y values by what? 2. Be 8, 2, 0, 2, 8. Does this negative 1 affect the y-axis or the x-axis? Everybody, what does it affect? X. So I'm going to add what to each one of these? 1. I'm going to add positive 1 to it. Then I'm going to do the plus 3, which affects the what values? The y. So I'm going to leave my x's alone. Add 3 to it. And let's see if that's what I got here. Negative 1, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. 0, 5, 1, 3. Yep. So I got the same thing. So you can either do it in your head or you can do the table. Either way. Are there any other questions on that? All right, let's turn back to our notes from the other day. We've got 3 examples I want to do left on that, and then I'm going to give you time to do your 4 with your group, okay? Did we get to number 11? What number did we finish up on? Oh, we finished 10. Bless you. That's what I meant. Did we finish 10? Okay, we're going to do 11, 12, and 13. I don't know why I put 14. That's another 14. Okay, we're going to do 11, 12, and 14. 13. All right, so number 11. We have f of x equals negative 2 yes, on the back of the note paper. I think it's page 52. Yes, page 52. All right, what is my parent function here, Zach? Absolute value. Very good. So I'm going to graph that first. My parent function. Now, on this negative 2 right here, I'm stretching by a factor of 2, but I'm also reflecting by what? X-axis. But if I multiply by negative 2, will it take care of both of them at the same time? Yes, that's what I want to do, okay? Okay, so this is 0, 0. If I multiply my y-coordinate by negative 2, I'm still there, aren't I? Okay, so I'm going to move it what? What's the first thing? Move it left 3. 1, 2, 3. Up how many? Okay. I'm at negative 1, 1. I multiply y-coordinate by negative 2. I'm really at negative 1 what? Negative 2. So now I'm going to move it left 3. 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2. This is at negative 2, 2. I'm going to multiply it by negative 2. I'm going to be at negative 2, negative 4. Move left 3, 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2. One, 1, multiply by 2, I'm at 1, negative 2. 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2. This is at 2, 2. I multiply by negative 2. I'm at 2, negative 4. Don't worry, if you cannot do it in your head like this, I'm going to do the table too, just in case. So make sure everybody, you got either one of 2 ways you can do it. How many like doing it this way? I'm just curious. Raise your hand if you like doing it this way. How many would rather do the table? Okay. Alright, so here we go. Let's do the table. First thing I'm going to do is multiply my y-coordinates by what? Negative 2. Now I'm going to add a negative 3, because it's opposite what you see, to the x. Then add a positive 2 to my y values. And those are the ones I would grab, and those are the same that I see over here. So I stretch by a factor of 2. Now you say, how would you write this if you asked me to describe this? I would say reflect about the x-axis, stretch by a factor of 2 vertically, move left 3, move up 2. You don't want to stretch by a factor of negative 2. Stretch by a factor of 2, reflect about the x-axis. Alright, let's look at number 12. 12, you'll almost have to do a table, guys, because it's kind of hard to do 1/4 in your head, isn't it? That 1/4. Right here, 1/4. Number 12. No, that's just me, made a mistake right there. What's my parent function here, Juliet? Cubic, very good. So I'm going to graph that. Page 52. Page 52. I'm going to start off by doing a table here. Alright, so what does this affect? How does that affect it? Stretch by a factor of what? Not stretch, I mean shrink by a factor of vertically or horizontally? Vertically, you got to know that. If it's on the outside, it's vertically. If it's on the inside, it's horizontal. So I'm going to multiply all this by 1/4. So that's going to be negative 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Oh, that's supposed to be 0, isn't it? Sorry. So I'm going to multiply all that by 1/4. I'm going to move it right to or left to? So I'm going to add what to my x values? 2. Then that negative 1 does what with it? Moves it down 1. So you got negative 1 and 1/4, negative 1, and then 3/4. If you added a negative 1 to each of those values, you have a negative 1 and 1/4, a negative 1 and 3/4. Negative 3/4, thank you. Now, if you can do that in your head, that's fine. You don't have to do the table. Okay, now I'm going to graph that. 1 and negative 1 and 1/4, 2 and negative 1, 3 and negative 3/4. Oh, should be down here. I could have drawn that better, sorry. That point should be down a little bit more. Now, how would I write that? Shrink by a factor of 1/4 vertically, move right 2, up 1. Did I say move up? I mean move down, sorry. Move right 2, down 1, sorry. Are there any questions on 11 and 12? Alright, let's look at number 13, then you're going to practice 4 of them. F of x equals 2x squared. What's my parent function? Quadratic, very good. What does that 2, when it's inside, when it is next to x, is it affected vertically or horizontally? Horizontally. It's opposite what you think. So are we going to stretch by 2 or shrink by 1/2? Shrink by 1/2. Okay, so that means we're going to multiply your x coordinates by what? By what? 1/2. By 1/2. Alright, so if I multiply 0, I stay right there, don't I? What now, buddy? Zoom in. Is that what you said?
No, I'm trying to get it.
Okay. Okay. So if I multiply, my x coordinate here is 0, 0, still at 0, 0. At 1, multiply 1 is going to be 1/2 1, isn't it? Y'all see how I got 1/2 1? My next coordinate is -2, 4. If I multiply -2 by 1/2, that's going to give me what? -1, isn't it? I'm going to write it out here so you can see what's going on here. To make sure everybody's on the same page. I'm multiplying this by 1/2. So that's -1, -1/2, 0, 1/2, 1. Leave your y coordinates alone. And that is what I'm graphing. -1, 4. We have shrink by a factor 1/2 horizontally. Are there any questions? Okay, right now you work on page 53, 5, 6, 10, and 12, okay? You can work with each other in group, check each other's work. If you're done with that, you have no homework. 5, 6, 10, and 12. If you do not finish, whatever you do not finish is homework. Work within your group. If you and your group members cannot figure out, you can come up here and ask me, okay? But we're not about to leave, go to the restroom, go run errands. We're going to do these 4 problems. If you need graph paper, there's some up there.